Welcome back to Firestorm Games, and in this video we're looking at some Drop Zone Commander Corvette class ships. Now we have one of each of the main factions here, so we've got the Torrey Glass Cloudfires, the Scourge Hunter Killers, PHR Echo Corvette, and the UCM Santiago Corvettes as well. Now we get 6 of these in each of the boxes here, so let's open these up and take a look at the content inside. Each of these Corvettes all have the same base. I'm going to be looking at them all together so we don't have to keep looking at them later on. So first of all, we have this single sheet of stickers, which we have 3 large stickers on and 3 smaller numbered stickers. We also have a base, a insert, and also these small pegs as well. Now these all fit together to create something like this. And you can see here we've got the insert is inside the base, and we've also got the sticker just been placed underneath. Now as I move this insert around, it actually changes what you can see through the windows, and this indicates different ship statuses. We also have these firing arcs detailed on the outside of the base, and we also have these numbers corresponding with these pegs. Now one thing I'm not really sure why, I think we might have more numbers here than actual pegs, so I'm not sure if that's intentional or if that is an oversight. So we also have the clear acrylic rod that sits in the middle, in which you can actually just bring in a ship and place it on top like so. Now these bases are quite a novel idea, gives you everything you need on the base itself. Reminds me of X-Wing, things like that, where you've got the firing arcs and ship details on the base there. So that's the bases looked at. Let's move on to our first of the Corvettes, which will be the Scourge Hunter Killers. The first of the Corvettes that we have here is for the Scourge. Now this is the Hunter Killers. You get 6 of these in the set, and they come pre-assembled. There's no need to actually do any assembly to them. You basically just assemble the base and pop them on there like so. Really like the detailing in this particular kit. Very organic, very biological in its appearance. Reminds me of manta rays and that kind of winged section with the main flat body there as well. Now the actual material is pretty much the same as what you the kind of plastic resin that we've already seen for DropFleet Commander and Drop Zone Commander as well. Quite sturdy, but it is a little bit more bendy on some of these outer extremities. So that's the Scourge ship looked at. Let's move on to the PHR. Next up we have the PHR Echo. Now this ship is really nicely sculpted. You can see we've got lots of smooth flowing lines across the surface there. Pretty much the same kind of aesthetics we've seen on other PHR ships. We've got a few more mechanical items you can see just detailed where the engines are, and also in some of the weapon bays along the section here. I really like the aesthetics. This is almost like it's a weapon from a larger kit rather than actually being a ship itself. It's very sleek, very stylish in its design. Reminds me quite similar to something you would imagine like a fish, a tropical fish being in the shape, kind of continuing on for the manta that we saw from the Scourge as well. So that's the PHR ship. Let's move on to the UCM. Next up we have the UCM Santiago class Corvette. Now I really like the detailing on this particular kit, and I would say this is probably the most detailed out of all of them, especially around the engines. You can see there the individual ridges and pits, and it really is full of detail. You can see the individual lines just along the wing section there. Now the plastic is very much the same as the previous ones. It is quite flimsy on these sections. You can see here I can actually get quite a little bit of bend in there. So I'm not sure how well that would last up if you accidentally crushed them, whether it bend out of shape or even snap completely. But apart from that, the detailing on this material, it gets really held nicely. You can see all the way around there. Now, so out of all of the ships I'm looking at here, it's probably my favourite, both in terms of its detailing and also in its aesthetics. It's almost like something you would imagine humans of today producing. It's more mechanical, but still elegant in its own way. So that's the UCM Santiago looked at. Let's move on to the Torrey Corvettes. The final ship that we have here is the Torrey Glass Cloudflyers. Really like the design of this particular ship. We've got this reverse teardrop. This is the rear, this is the front, and you basically got a teardrop shape like so. Now this is kind of a lot more similar in terms of the PHR design. It's a lot more detail in the PHR ship, but similar kind of streamlined architecture and structure to it, whereas the Scourge and the UCM ships a lot more kind of winged base and more like a kind of conventional ground flyer ship. These are a lot more elegant in their designs. Very nice detailing again. You can see on the surface there all the details have been picked out really nicely indeed. So that's all the ships looked at. Let's get an overall summary for these Corvettes. So that concludes our look at the new Corvettes for DropFleet Commander. Now each of these ships really fits in with its faction's aesthetics. They're very nicely detailed, and there really is some fantastic design work gone into these ships. Now, each of these sets has an RRP of £20, and considering you get 6 ships in each set, it really is a reasonable price. However, you can actually get it a little bit cheaper for £18 from the Firestorm Games web store, and I'll pop a link in the description below to take you directly to the web store where you can order your own Corvettes from. So if you enjoyed this unboxing, please do let us know in the comments below what you think, and if you would like to see more DropFleet Commander content in the future, also let us know as well. And also be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all of our future content. So all that's left to say is thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again on Firestorm Games.